tell. I think we're at 4. More subscriptions. Yeah, I can't tell from here, so I'm going to say it stayed at 4. Make this March subscriber goal. I spelled it right. 4 03 31 2021. Okay. Let's close that out. Oh. We live. Oh man, you can't see the darn things. Should I make that black? I should probably make it black. Hang on, I gotta open up Streamlabs again. Oh, I'm watching Dashi. Don't worry about that. I think I can make the text black. All widgets. Follower. How do I can't change it. Okay. Well, that sucks. No, settings. Here we go. And just make the text color black. Right. Save settings. Let's see how this looks. There we go. There we go. So let's do that for the sub goal, and then we'll start. I mean, we kind of already started. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. It's your boy J-Base Phoenix back at it again with another. We're here for the writing stream this time. I posted on my Instagram story, which is the best way to keep up with me as far as, well, mainly writing goes. Like, I just post whatever updates I have through writing on Instagram. I'm gonna put my phone like here so I can see when somebody. No, I'm gonna put it here. Somebody chats. Welcome to stream, Daddy. Glad you could make it. Okay. So that's set up. We have books too. I'll do this at the end of the stream too. We have the novel that's been out for like close to a year now. The Ascended Awakening. That's on Amazon. I'll post the links in the in the chat. And then we have 2 versions right now. There's more coming. Kids versions of the books that also have. Well, if you get the physical paperback version, you can color as well there we go, inside. So yeah, that's that. I'm gonna post the links. Exclamation point books. Thank you, Nightbot. And let's get started. Okay, so we have a to-do list today because I don't want to get too sidetracked from what I've done. I did a lot of this last night, but here on the right side, did a lot of this last night, but I slowly did some of it over the course of the week. I have the villain's plan done. That was like the biggest thing I accomplished this week. But I don't think it's wise to share it on stream because for the sake of spoiling the story. I don't want to spoil the story for you guys. So just know that I finished the villain's plan and in turn kind of finished the world history. Kind of. There's still some questions I have to answer story-wise, logistics-wise, all of that. Let's get into it. First, we have the new character descriptor rank. So when I create new characters, let's scroll down. No, somewhere near 70. Okay. So when I create new characters, at least for virtuosity, this shonen I'm working on, this is the template I use. So we have sex, real name, semiotics, which is kind of tags associated with the character. Iconography, which mainly I mainly start with the colors, like their color set, that their color scheme that determines what, that kind of shows off what their personality is like. Like if somebody's wearing a lot of black, well, you can guess they're kind of probably going to be brooding, dark, mysterious, all that. And then also with iconography, I also, well, if I have a look in mind, I'll describe it here as well. The alignment, personality, goals, occupation. Now here's rank. This is the new one that I added, and I made sure I added all the possible ranks right here. So we have virtue student, which is what the main characters are, all four. The main characters are, we have graduated virtueser, which is when they graduate, so they're no longer a student. Common town guard, soldier, spy, low guard, assassin. Before it was spy, assassin, low guard, but assassins are much more valuable to this world than low guards are. Then you have high guard, clan leader, counselor of a town, counselor of a region, and then NA. Like some of the villains won't fall into any of these ranks, but they'll still be quite strong. Affiliation, so this could be the region that a person's from, and or the group they're a part of, or a group they're associated with. Scroll down here. Then we have the virtue. You guys have seen this before. The virtue power. You have the class, the ability. We have move names because it's shonen, so gotta name the moves. You don't have to, but I prefer to. I kind of like when the moves are named. Though I don't remember most of them besides Kamehameha, Gallic Gun. Weapons, bio, then rule of 3 items / accessories, which kind of coincides with iconography, because it's like showing what they're about, kind of without saying it. Okay, so that's, well, let me describe at least one of the ranks, because low guard, that could probably mean a lot of things. Let me scroll. Okay, so you have at the bottom student, graduated. You guys can't see this. Let me scroll up a bit here. Student, graduated, virtueser, common town guard, soldier, spy, low guard. So low guards are the lower ranks of the groups of guards that work for clan leaders and town and region counselors. So they're just, to be specific, I guess, they're just lower than the high guards. High guards are more like bodyguards, so usually for region counselors, town counselors, and clan leaders, the numbers vary depending on how powerful the counselor or clan leader is. Then we have assassins in between. Assassins are their value varies. Actually, that's not true. I'd say they're pretty sought out people. Like if somebody's a good assassin, they're going to be hunted down to like for a job or something like that. Assassins are, plus a lot of the like badass characters fall under the assassin rank. So then we have clan leader, counselor of a town, and counselor of a region. Okay, so those are the ranks, and I started putting the ranks, adding the ranks to all of the characters that I haven't finished yet here. Some of them I'm still working on, so I don't have any rank plan just yet. So, for example, Kokaida, falls under the main villain group, she is the counselor of Glacial Wind and the Snow region. So, Glacial Wind is the capital of the Snow region, and she's the counselor of the capital, and she's in turn also the counselor of the entire region. So, she's very powerful and in a very powerful position. And I wanted to make it so the villain group, well, the main villain places his cronies, his followers, in strategic areas around the world. So, like here, for example, one of the, and this comes into the story at some point, obviously, but one of the counselors turns out to be a pretty bad person. So yeah, that's why not all the, well, especially the villain. That's why all of the ranks aren't filled in yet. Okay, let's go back to the to-do. This is whenever I get, that's why this is here. So we did that. Let's cross that out. So we have character pictures. I'm gonna leave these up over the course of the stream, but let's open this up. Finally took pictures of people I've been talking about, saying that I had done for a while. And we'll take a look. Don't expect anything crazy, please. I'm if I considered myself that good of an artist, this series would already like be off the ground. Descended probably would have been a comic book as well. But I just draw them just to just so people have an idea of what the characters I'm describing look like. I'm opening all 7 pictures here. Give it a second. Did anybody load in? Why are there only 2? Uh-oh. So we'll see the main 4 here. I did say I finished them, and I just like finished their space in the new characters document, so I moved them over to a different document where it's kind of like the archives of the new characters, so I never lose the information that I initially created on them, like all the names I went through before I landed on their name and stuff like that. Didn't start in the required time. What? It's a picture, bro. What does that even mean? Can we do one at a time? Let's try that. There we go. There's one. Here we go. Now you open. Alright, so let's go through them here. And I'll put them off to like the side like this. There we go. Let's just, no, I won't. Just put them all to the, just move them over to this. Why are they all opening full screen? I don't want them open full screen. Okay. Alright, so let's go to Cyril, who's the main character, the main boy. This is the kid that has the shockwave generation and the superpowers and all that. Yellow eyes that match his yellow tank top and yellow gloves. This symbol here, I think I meant to color it in, but I kind of like it not colored in. He has the white accents, I think, complement the whole outfit, so that's fine. This is an image I saw on the Shockwave Wikipedia. I was like, this would make a good icon. So, excuse me, I made that his main symbol for his t-shirt and the gloves here. There's obviously, this is like the palm of the glove, so on the other side you'd see the you'd see this symbol as well. This symbol here you'll see across the main 4. Zashi has it as well. Well, you won't see it on Ferris because I came up with this concept after I had already finished Ferris's drawing. So that's an L. This is the symbol of Team Cyclone, so it's their school team. They were all put into groups of 4, and their Team Cyclone. This spiral thing. It's a cyclone. It's an icon. It's an icon image of a cyclone. He listens to music, and it's not in his backstory, but it's in Amy's backstory that he like teaches her about new genres because she's like a goth punk rock rebel type. And their hoodies, all of the main cast, their hoodies have these like stripe line things, but the colors vary, and they're all black, but the stripe colors vary and the accent colors vary as well. But I did want to keep the consistency as far as the icon went, and the and like the main color of each hoodie. You'll see it in Zashi in a second. I gave him blue hair because anime. And yeah, that's the guy I've been talking about for quite a while now. Back when he was supposed to be in different series and was supposed to technically be an alien. Let's go to Zashi. She has the symbol here. Her cloak, like I said, everybody's cloak or a hoodie. I wanted to make it so everybody's hoodie, every student, every virtue student wears a hoodie, black hoodie, but it's in a style that they would wear. So Cyril kind of just has a normal hoodie, which is fine. Zashi is wearing it like in the style of a kimono, so you see like the longer sleeves here, and it's like drooping down here, and it's much longer, goes down to like at least the kneecaps, because she's like a princess, the ice princess, so that's why. She has the Team Cyclone thing there, white hair, because all of the original bloodline of the Frost Clan, she's like the middle child of the Frost Clan. All of them have white hair. So yeah, that's her sword that can absorb and deflect attacks. And yeah, that's pretty much her. This is orange, and like the accents to her blue are orange because it's like a complementary color. But I'm not really feeling the orange and pink. I don't think the orange was necessary. I could have just kept it pink, or just made the kimono hoodie all orange, like instead of the pink accents. But it's fine either way. Doesn't matter. So that's Zashi. Then let's do Ferris. I haven't actually made an official post on him, but I've posted him on my Instagram story plenty of times. I really like his hair. He doesn't have a hoodie in this picture. I don't know what type of hoodie I'd give him. If any, maybe I'd just add a hood to the back of this to make it look like just a long sleeve shirt, pretty much like it is. I could say there's just a hood back there. But he doesn't have the only downside is he doesn't have the stripe accents. And if I were to give it to him there, it'd be red because his main color scheme is black and red. The chains are purple though. And this stuff around him is the virtue. His class is the kinetic class. All kinetics have orange virtue. So, yeah, these chains are his weapons, the smith gifts given to him by the blacksmiths. They can do all sorts of things, but we've explained that on stream before. So yeah, this is the rival to Cyril. Very, very, very edgy looking. But yeah, that's that boy. We have Amy, who is the goth I was mentioning earlier. She has the auditory teleportation. You see, there's a hint of the symbol here, the Team Cyclone symbol, because it's like off to the side. You probably can't really tell based on the image. I can barely tell here, but the accents within her hoodie are purple. Yeah, no. Uh, you can tell her hair. There's like she has highlights, so like towards the bottom of her hair is like purple, but her hair is normally black. Um, the accents, the inside of the hoodie, and all of that, it's all like dark purple, and it's really hard to tell with the black. At least in this picture. Um, but yeah, she is the fourth member rounding out the team. She's from the Elysian region, which there's mysteries surrounding that, and we'll probably get a bit into it in a few minutes. But she got a toothpick because cool people chew on toothpicks. At least they used to. What era was that? I don't know. But that's Amy. And then we have a few more here, 3 more. Here's Aura. Now here's a different team symbol. She'd also have it on the hoodie tied around her waist. This is another style of wearing or the cut of the hoodie that supports their character. She's very sporty, very active, very outgoing, I'd say. She has. This is Team Earthquake. I think it's Team Earthquake. Yeah, she's the leader of Team Earthquake, so this is their symbol here. I put it on her gauntlets as well, so because you can't really tell where it would be on the hoodie. She can manipulate crystals. She's of the kinetic class. I didn't add the aura here. I think I'm only going to keep the aura on Ferris's drawing. I kind of like the drawings without the aura around him. Not aura, sorry, Virtue. Her name is Aura. And yeah, that's Aura. She's I don't have her bio completely done, but she's like, so what I have so far, and I'll just tell you briefly once I find her. So for some reason I came up with this idea one night when I was supposed to be sleeping, like all of this. Her dad wanted a boy and was only willing to try 3 times. All 3 kids were daughters, and with her being the youngest, she ended up behaving like a tomboy, especially compared to her elegant sisters. So she's very much the strongest of the bunch. And and she also, I made it kind of ironic that she also leads a team of all dudes, and she's probably the strongest out of all of them, mentally and most likely physically as well. So yeah, that's all I have on her right now, but there'll be more on her, and there's more character. I'm about to share more character stuff and a few as well. We have Axis. So this was back when this was supposed to be a separate series, before I combined all 3 this drawing, but I really enjoy this drawing. He doesn't even have swords as like his main weapon anymore. He actually has lightning rods, but we could say that's a lightning rod with a sheath around it, right? No, that's a sword. That's a full-on sword. And this was also supposed to be the same sword, because this was supposed to cross paths with Descended. This is supposed to be the same sword as Anti from Descended. He's not in the first book yet. Well, he's not even officially in the series. There are a lot of characters that aren't officially in it yet, but this is supposed to be that boy Anti. We've read stories of his on the stream before, but it's supposed to be his sword. He was supposed to pass his sword on to Axis here, and yeah, that didn't happen because this is a different series now. But I really I dig the look. I might redraw him, but to be honest, I wouldn't see the point in doing that. Maybe to just recolor the hoodie, because the hoodie's not supposed to be navy blue. Like I said, it's supposed to be black with the accents. So he probably had the navy blue accents in the hoodie. But yeah. And he is on Team Meteor here. This is Team Meteor was supposed to be the name of the main team, but I didn't like that name for the main team. So this is the team that Kayahi is on, and he's like a tactical genius, and he acts very much like and speaks very much like a modern guy. And I can't wait to do more character building with him. But Axis is on that team as well. Aphatica, who is a gloomy shadow manipulator, and Clad, who is just pretty much a big dumb brute but lovable guy. That's the team he's part of. He's not leading it, but a very essential member to it. And then we have, I don't know why I finished this guy so early, or why that filter is really, oh man. I think this is back when I had one of those editing apps that was supposed to like fix your picture for you, but it just ended up making it look really grainy. So this is Crosswind, name pending, because I want the names to sound in this series to sound closer to real people names, or names that somebody could have, even though most of them are made up, if not all of them are made up. They'll come from somewhere though. But this is back when he was supposed to be a specialist like Axis here in specialist series, where the government were training these young kids to be pretty much superheroes. But I realized down the line that was very much like Descended, except the only difference was they were each only given one superpower and a weapon that complemented that superpower, as opposed to Descended where everybody is kind of just a god. But yeah, he had wind powers. What is typhokinesis? I forgot what that was. Oh boy, let me check my. This is why I have this little Bible here. Crosswind, smoke manipulation. He was originally with the name Crosswind. He's supposed to have aerokinesis, air manipulation, but I gave that to one of the villains. So yeah, that's why his name is changing. I'm kind of fine with the look I gave him. Plus he kind of just looks cool. I'd probably fix the hair if I could change anything about this drawing. But I have a whole sketchbook, my 4th sketchbook, dedicated to character drawings like this, where it was supposed to be all the characters from the Specialist series, and I have a bunch of drawings done, but I never like finished them like I did Crosswind. Crosswind I thought would be easy to finish, and it kind of really was easy because it was on the smaller side, plus his angle makes it so it's pretty much mainly just a shirt to color in. But yeah, there's going to be redrawings of a few characters, and I'm on like my 5th or 6th character sketchbook now. And I'm trying to make this 5th or 6th one that I drew Cyril and the main for in. I'm trying to make it dedicated to this series, but I already messed that up because I threw Rose and let me see. I threw Rose and Adriel in there, and Rose's best friend Lynx, and I'm pretty sure I planned some others that are supposed to be in there as well. This is the current version of Rose that I have, and this was the version 1 of her. Yeah, version 1 was so version 2 is the one I chose to stick with, but that's for the Descended series, so I kind of strayed away from that for right now. But they're also in this sketchbook for some reason. I can never just make a sketchbook dedicated to the one thing I want it to be for, which I guess is fine, but oops. So let's move on. Let's check the to-do list. Oh, wait. There it is. So we showed off all of them. Oh, I forgot to add access to that list right So we finished Zashi and Amy officially, and we'll check that document now, and then we'll get into the new stuff, which should take us to the end of the stream, hopefully. If not, I guess we're doing some writing on stream today. So let's move this over here. Minimize this. Leave this open. Okay. I don't know if we've viewed this document before, but this is so I don't forget. Because like I said, when I finish a new character from the new document, I'll move it to the old new document that kind of acts as like the archive, so I remember where these characters came from and the concepts I had for them, all the names I came up with before I landed on the name that I finally gave them, officially gave them. And it's also to keep track of all the information on the character, because these characters are new and fresh in my head. You've seen I've had to resort to a few different documents here in this one stream because I'm all over the place. There's so many darn characters, but this is where I put all the completed characters as of right now. We have Cyril Ferris, who I've shared on the stream before, but I don't think I've shared Zashi and Amy, so we'll do a little bit of reading on them. So here's Zashi, Princess, Successor, Tank. She's the tank of Team Cyclone, and you'll see why once we get to her superpowers. Colors, I changed it. It used to be something else, but I changed it so it kind of fit what I drew. We'll throw up the picture of her as we describe her, because why not? Pale skin, long skirt that resembles dress, stockings, sneakers, yeah, all that. She's lawful neutral, cold, practical, aggravated, even though the picture says otherwise, because she's got a slight smirk going on. Her goal is to fulfill her clan's wishes of bringing the Frost Clan into actual political power, with Glacial Wind, the capital of the snow region. They wish for her to be Kokaida's successor for counselor. So like I said before, Kokaida is the current counselor of the capital of the snow region, Glacial Wind. And her clan wants her to succeed under Kokaida, and there's probably going to be a plot to overthrow Kokaida, especially once they figure out Kokaida is one of the bad people of this world. Her occupation is student. Her rank is virtue student, so the lowest rank out of the political / virtue rankings. Affiliation, this is where I talked about where they would be from and any group they're affiliated with or have been affiliated with. The Frost Clan, obviously it's a family. Glacial Wind, Snow Region, that's where the Frost Clan is located. And then Team Cyclone, it's their main team, from the Order Mill, which is the capital of the Plains region. Her virtue class is Thief out of the 5 classes, which has blue virtue, but I didn't include that in her drawing. Like I said, I'd probably just keep that for Ferris, because unless they're activating their ability, like I kind of did with Aura, you see the crystals floating in her picture, but yeah. So her virtue ability, what gave her the semiotic or tag, if you will, character tag of tank, she has virtue and body heat siphon. So she converts stolen virtue. She has to be very close to you. I'm not going to say she has to be physically touching you, but she has to be extremely close to you in order to be able to steal virtue from you. So she converts stolen virtue into ice and ice shield, which results in whatever she's touching and draining to be frosted over with ice, giving her the nickname Ice Princess, as well as being of the Frost Clan. That kind of coincides. And then she has one move, and I gave some rules to it, and I gotta remember these rules when I'm writing the fights of this series. I'm looking forward to writing the fights because there's so many rules and moves I gave it, as opposed to Descended, which I pretty much made. It's very much like Dragon Ball Z. It's not like screaming and all that, but people are using their powers and all that, but there's no like limit unless I specify. There's no like limit to the amount of abilities somebody can use. It's just like fire blast, and then they just hold it for like the next 3 hours. So the only move I gave her as of right now, and this is subject to expand down the line, especially once they grow stronger as a group. Virtue Conversion Ice Dome. It creates an igloo from enough stolen virtue, which is her ability, stealing virtue of the Leaf class. It has a time limit, and the amount of time depends on how much virtue she's taken. So if she's taken all the virtue from a normal virtueser, which is anybody, any normal living being that can use virtue, which is any living being in this world, it grants her 1 minute. So from a normal, let's say it's from a normal human, she steals all the virtue from a normal human, killing that human. It grants her 1 minute of this igloo she can create around herself and her friends, so it can kind of serve as like their thinking space, if you will. Yeah. And I also, like, in creating these powers, which is like also exciting me, because in creating these powers, I'm wondering how they can bounce off of each other and help each other in combat. So Cyril's latent ability of the virtuous eyes, where it pretty much makes it so his virtue is limitless. With her stealing, it doesn't have to be from the bad guys. She can steal her friends, her teammates' virtue when he's using his virtuous eyes, because he has pretty much an unlimited amount. So she can steal it and make this ice dome for however long she wants. So it's like a loophole, but it's also like, team chemistry and all that. So yeah, I think that's kind of cool. And then her sword, I didn't really do much with her short sword, but it's a Wakizashi sword, short sword, which is the short sword of the samurai, which is where her name came from, this other half here, named Waki. I know, real creative. It can absorb attacks and deflect attacks as well. It also depends on the strength of the attack, I guess. But yeah. So let's get into her bio, and then we'll get into the rule of threes, which is not that important. But yeah. So our main goal, given to her by the Frost Clan, because princess duties and all that, it is to take over as counselor of Glacial Wind to bring the Frost Clan into valid political power. So they have their high ranking. The clan leader is the third highest ranked person there is as far as the virtue / political ranking goes, but as opposed to the counselor of that town that they're in, they don't have that much actual political power. So she's essentially their way of going straight instead of strong-arming and blackmailing town leaders into doing as they wish. She has older siblings and younger siblings. Thank you, Google. And one of the older siblings is Jato, who we've explained. I think we talked about him last stream, but his name also comes from an ancient Japanese weapon. But the reason Zashi was chosen is because the clan head, her mother, I never gave the mother a name yet because it takes me forever to name characters and places, but like I said before, I pride myself in naming that, so I'm fine with taking a while to name somebody, even though I did name a few people last night, and we'll get into that too. But reason she was chosen is because her mother, the clan head, sees her as someone she can easily manipulate as opposed to her siblings. She's the middle child, so her mother sees her as easily manipulated. But her mother tells her it's because of her intelligence and natural gift with virtue, which is a blatant lie. At first, it seems as if Zashi wishes to divert from this path when she meets her new friends. That whole Disney princess thing. Disney, please don't sue me. Of wanting to fight the man and all that, and not do your duties as ruler. But no, instead she makes the goal given to her her own, and wishes to prove to Cyril that this way is one way that peace is attainable. So through becoming Counselor of Glacial Wind, hopefully, because this series will get, there's a lot of twists and turns in this series that I plan to give it. It's one way to show that his goal of obtaining pretty much world peace is attainable. So it's not only for her or for her clan, it's for her friends as well. And then the rule of 3 items / accessories to show you that kind of what she's about. She has a Frost Clan sigil, mark of her family. It's nowhere to be seen in this drawing. Oops. Blue fingernails represent her icy touch. She has that here. You can't see it on the other hand. But and white hair. All Frost Clan members, like I've said before, connected to the original bloodline have white hair. So there are members of the clan, of course, that aren't part of the family, and they aren't gonna have white hair. So, yeah, that's Zashi, and then we have Amy. Put her over here. Rebel, goth, punk. Colors: black, violet, yellow, black hair, violet highlights, fair skin, violet eyes, strapless top, crop top, hoodie, black yoga pants, sneakers. You can never see the sneakers in any of the drawings unless somebody's like purposely raising their foot to kick at something that isn't there. Alignment: chaotic good, calm, standoffish, calculating. She wants to find out the truth about the Elysian region, and there's more about that in her bio. She's the only student out of the entire class that's from this region that was wiped out. I know it's shocking it's not the main character that's from this region, even though the main character did have his town wiped out as well. Not his whole region, though. She's a student, rank is virtue student, like Zashi. Affiliation, the Elysian region, but she's also Team Cyclone and from Ordomil in the Plains region. Excuse me. She's of the virtue class Traverser, so I wanted to make it so all 4 of the characters are showcase each of the 5 classes. So Cyril showcases 2 classes. So he has the Touch Mutator class, which gives him the shockwaves, but also the Self Mutator class, which causes him to change his eyes and gives him a whole bunch of power-ups and stuff. And then Ferris is Kinetic, which is 3 classes so far. Zashi is Thief, and then Amy is Traverser. So she has Auditory Teleportation. She has 2 moves right now. And like I said, this is subject to have stuff added to it, or this can be changed down the line. But I made it so there's bonuses and weaknesses to all of these moves. So they're not always resorting to them. So first move, Virtue Shield Expansion, which expands her Virtue Shield so she's able to hear clearer across farther distances. This in turn weakens her Virtue Shield's durability. So Virtue Shield is something that all Virtue users can, it's like a base Virtue power. All Virtue users can give themselves a Shield of Virtue, which hypes up their durability beyond belief. Like, bullets pretty much can't pierce this, and but other Virtue attacks can. So with her expanding this Virtue Shield past just her top layer of skin, it makes it so she can hear across farther distances, which will help with her auditory teleportation. So if she hears something in the farther distance when she's using this, she can teleport to it. But in exchange, it weakens her durability, so she should avoid being hit when she uses this ability. And then we have Double Kill. Temporarily makes it so she can DNA lock up to 2 targets simultaneously, and we'll get into what DNA lock is in a second. Making it so she can move Murder Death Kill, which is the name of her knife, between the 2 targets. Doing this, of course, costs Virtue. She tends to stay away from this move because it costs Virtue just to teleport, if she thinks she can end a fight quickly, she will resort to it, but if she knows the fight is going to take longer than 5 seconds, she's not going to resort to doing double kill. Give me 1 second. Yeah. I'll bring the stream manage, because I can't see the stream chat or anything like that through OBS, unfortunately, right now. I don't know where all of my windows went, and it's really inconvenient because I have to look at it through my phone. But it is what it is for right now, until I figure out what the heck is going on. Her knife is named Murder, Death, Kill. And it has the ability of DNA lock. Remember, all the weapons given to any student or any virtueser has some sort of ability that coincides with the virtueser's innate ability, virtue ability. They can name it whatever they want. It doesn't matter. The name can change too. Yo, what up, Zach J Creates? Do you know what ergodic literature is? I don't. What is that? I don't know what that is. DNA lock. So that's the ability mentioned in Double Kill. Once it breaks a target's skin, it can be thrown and lock onto that same target. It switches targets when another is cut unless she uses Double Kill. So she can stab somebody and run away, teleport home if she wants, and then throw the knife and make it so the knife goes back into the target she stabbed earlier in the day. That's what DNA lock does. So yeah, that's her abilities. I really wanted to get creative with all of these abilities. So Amy, raised in Order Mill by her adopted father. Though she originally comes from the Elysian region, the only memories she has of it are her people rallying and the other being her people wiped out. So first thing she remembers from her home region, people like, yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna fight, and then the next thing she remembers is everybody dead. So yeah, her father was part of the rescue team, and there's a reason there's quotes around that, and took her in from there. She never believed her father. He told her the full truth, which she was right about, but she didn't let it keep her from being close to him, as she believed he had a good reason for keeping the truth secret, which is really mature of her. A lot of people will not make that decision. And side note, she's one of the best strategists among the Order Mill students, along with Keiai and Dragon. I don't have too much information on them yet, but you will learn about them in the future. Keiai is somebody I mentioned earlier in the stream. I don't know if you remember, but yeah. Zach J creates, the best way I can explain it, it's a way of formatting a story where it challenges the reader to read unconventionally. So readers have to read the words right to left, top to bottom, and others in normal ways to read. Makes the reader work for what they're reading. What would be the effectiveness of doing that? I'm curious. And then the accessories to show what she's about. Toothpick represents her cool attitude towards anything, because cool people have toothpicks. Backwards cap also represents her cool attitude and sort of dudeous nature in being raised by her father, which would make sense if she was only raised by her father. Same thing kind of happened with Aura, but Aura also had her mother and 2 sisters, but her father kind of used her as like a pseudo son, which she didn't mind. Her black fingernails, she's a goth into rock music. Cyril introduces her to other genres that she also enjoys, which I also mentioned earlier. So that's the main 4. We now have information, or completed information, except like height and weight and all that, but I'm not gonna focus on that right now. Because normally, like, that takes me the longest for some reason. I can name a character before I give them a proper height and weight. I'm not stressing about it. Just know Cyril's probably the shortest out of all the four. IDK, just a style of writing. Have you ever written something like that? I don't think I have. The closest thing I've had to that style is manga. I don't know if manga counts, but they read like that over in Japan, so I don't think that would count, right? Okay. Well, we have 10 minutes left. I thought we would so much more time. I didn't think it'd take as long to get through them as it did, but no biggie. We got knocked out 2 things. So let's get to the group and then some information I have on new and upcoming characters that probably won't be introduced until later in the show besides Dr. Esperana. Let's describe the mercs real quick. Nope, that's dashing. First let me check to see if there's any spoiler information on it before I don't want you guys to... Okay, no. There's nothing bad here. Okay. So you guys can see it on the left side here. So the mercs, it's purposely spelled that way because it's like an assassin team, so it's spelled M-U-R-K-S because of like murk, like murky water, like dark, but dark like an assassin, but it's also like pronounced like merc, like the short term for mercenaries. It's creative, okay? A team crafted of the best assassin rank virtue users, assassin rank being number 5 now, from all across the non-Citadel and Elysian regions. Not every... Actually, this should just be the non-Elysian regions, but not every assassin rank virtue user is part of this team. So there are other assassins that didn't make up this team, but these are just pretty much the best of the best. Only the elite, yeah. So we have Jato, who is Zashi's older brother, and I'm still coming up with drawing concepts on how to draw him. He's a type that doesn't show his face, so he's constantly wearing his helmet mask thing. Dr. Esperana, who is one of the teachers, one of the 3 teachers that teaches the virtue students. We have Amy's father, who I described in Amy's backstory. I didn't give him a name yet. We have Arachna, who we don't have information on. Actually, we do. We'll get to her. But that's the mercs. Let's cross that off the list. Real nice and easy. Dr. Esperana should be further down. I had to make... Said before, I've had to make the a table of contents, if you will, in the same document for all of the new characters from this series. What you just saw me scroll past, that's all for Descendant. Look forward to more coming to that. We should have the second book. The book will definitely 100% be out by the end of this year, the second novel. But I got peeps working on it now. Yeah, here she is. She's under the history teacher, virtue teacher, history teacher. Here, Smith, weapons / Smith gift teacher. So real name Dr. Esperana. From one of the many different ways other countries say hope. A lot of them say Espero or Esperanza or some variation of that word, so I just made it so it's that. I didn't want it to necessarily be a real name because technically nobody from this world has a real name, I don't think. Oh, Kiahi does. That's a Hawaiian name. Besides him. I think. I hope. Yeah. So Semiotics, assassin, because she was part of that merc team that I just showed you. Teacher, mentor. I didn't come up with what I wanted to look like just yet. But her alignment is lawful good, personality bubbly, caring, but also practical. Her goal is to prepare her students for whatever dismal future they may come to face. So, her occupation is teacher. Her rank is of the assassin rank. That's the highest she's reached. Affiliation, the Mercs, we saw it before. And then Order Mill, the Plains region where the school is. So, the thing is, her virtue class is none now, but it used to be self-mutator, and her virtue ability is none now as well, but it used to be future vision, where she could look into the future and tell whether someone was worth saving or not on the battlefield. So she was like the Merc team's doctor in a way, but she could also like take care of herself as well. So yeah, I think I show that. Where do I put it? Oh yeah, future vision here. When she was part of the Mercs team. But now she doesn't have those abilities because they were stolen from her. But she doesn't let her abilities that were stolen from her, like the lack of her virtue ability, let that deter her from teaching about, well, really anything, or mentoring, or being a good doctor. We don't know who stole it just yet, but there are people of the thief class in this world, so there are plenty of people that might have taken it. We don't know. Move names. There's no point. I didn't see a point to giving her any sort of move names or move abilities. The future vision, just what I described, is pretty much enough. She doesn't have to like stare at a teammate dying on the battlefield to be like, future vision activate. That's kind of silly. Yeah. I didn't give her a weapon just yet, but she is. So there are 3 types of teachers that you meet that are teaching the main cast and the rest of the virtue students. You have the virtue teacher, who is helping them hone their base virtue abilities and their innate virtue abilities, their specific abilities. I can't read his backstory for the sake of spoilers. Oh no! Don't look. Wait. Look away. Then we have the history teacher. I don't have much on him yet, besides hot-blooded, and that'll probably change too. So, and actually, I think I'm switching the backstories for the virtue teacher and history teacher, but don't worry about them right now. So you have the virtue teacher, the history teacher, which is the teacher that teaches the history of this world, which will also help the reader understand what the history of this world is, because it'll be like they're one of the students, they're watching through the eyes of the students, which is the whole point of there being the school. And then you have the weapons teacher, the smith gift teacher. It helps them hone their weapons given to them by the blacksmiths. So yeah, she had her, this is all I have on her bio right now. She had her virtue ability stolen from her, but she held on to her weapon and uses this as her main source of attack and defense. So like I said, she doesn't let her ability being stolen from her deter her from being a badass. So then we have the Deflecting Monk. I pretty much only gave him a name. I don't know why I added him to the list, but I didn't want to forget that it took me a while to come up with a name for him. So we have Desvi, and Desviar, I don't know how to pronounce it, means deflect in Catalan and Galician. I don't know a whole bunch of languages, but this is why I use a language thing, and then I kind of just pronounce it however I want to pronounce it, because it's based off of the words that mean what I'm looking for. So his name pretty much means deflect, which is his ability, so it's kind of spot on. This is a bad guy. He's a deflecting monk, which also coincides with what monks kind of like, one of their principles, like not attacking only when necessary, all that type of stuff. Um, so yeah, that's what I had on him. We have the shadow villain. The auto mechanic. Yes, the auto mechanic and Arachna. Those are the last two, and then we'll end the stream because it is almost 9 now. Then we'll have more stuff for next week because I don't want to leave you guys on a cliffhanger. That'd be mean. So yeah. New document. Okay, so we have time character / auto ray mechanic. So the time character was supposed to be somebody completely separate from the auto mechanic. Her name is Nako. Nako means time in Setsoto, which is an African language. Or semiotics or character tags. Mechanic, lunatic, genius. Right now, I only know I want to give her goggles, so that's why that's the only thing in iconography. Her alignment, chaotic good. Personality, unhinged, explosive, energetic. Doesn't have a goal in mind. Well, I don't have a goal for her in mind right now. Occupation, biomechanical engineer. Rank, affiliation, didn't fill that in. I never actually gave her an ability just yet, but I have things in mind, and I'm looking for something that falls under what I've given her right now. Due to her constantly moving in time, age doesn't affect her, so she's technically immortal. Weakness, there's a sharp spike in virtue whenever she time travels, so if one can react in time, she can be stopped. I put they because I didn't know whether I wanted them to be male or female just yet. She has move names. I don't. I have names, and I have one name, but no description for it. So chronostasis freezes something in time. I'm pretty sure that's what chronostasis means, but I don't know what exactly I want that ability to do. I know it'll probably have something to do with freezing something in time. And then I don't have a name for this move, but I have very clear description. Reverses things to their initial state. So for example, she could be taking an explosion, like holding an explosion, or touching the edges of an explosion, or just being near an explosion, reverses it to where it just began to expand, move it elsewhere, and then let it play out. So something can explode, she freezes, reverses time, runs off somewhere else, and lets it out into the atmosphere, or something like that. I just thought that'd be cool to see at least one time. So our bio self-proclaimed doctor of explosions and licensed biomechanical doctor and physician or something. Invents a bomb for Cyril that explodes when enough air pressure is applied. She's a character that comes in later on in the story, but I was just typing away last night, and I don't know. I like working on the newest characters for some reason. Characters that have been sitting there for a while, I just kind of let stuff come to me. But, yeah. I kind of just float. She likes baby versions of vegetables, like baby carrots. Because na means vegetables in Japanese, and nako means child. And her name is Nako. So, it's like, yeah. But it also means time in this African language, so it's like a little quirk. I like giving my characters little quirks here and there. Only rule of 3 item / accessory I gave her was a stethoscope to hear explosions clearer, because she's insane. And she uses virtue to protect her eardrums so she doesn't go deaf. It would be really inconvenient to be immortal and deaf as well. We did stuff on Jato before. And in Arachna, I gave her, like, at least her backstory. She was part of the Mercs. She was someone... Let me make sure there's no spoilers here. Not really. Okay, so she was someone who was part of the military team that Amy's father, the weapons teacher, and Jato were a part of. I could just put the Mercs there and it would make sense. But she's from the Citadel region. So when the war began against the Citadel region, the group fell apart when this person This is an origin I put at the top of this new character's virtuosity area, but I didn't know who to give it to. Like, I'll come up with origins, but won't know who to give, because I don't. For this series, I'm trying to not create new characters and give stuff to characters that already exist that might not have something yet. So I had the idea in mind for her abilities and all that. You'll see down here. But I didn't give her a bio just yet, and I thought this would make the most sense for her. So I kind of just matched the bio up with the character. If that makes sense. The group fell apart when this person was forced to leave. The group was split on whether she should be allowed to stay or not. And then I'm working on the ability and whether or not I want to make it so she has like mechanical arms because she's from the Citadel region, which is like the only cybernetically enhanced region. And make it so like she has string abilities, and I think I'm gonna stick with that. But I don't think I want to make that her virtual ability. I think I'm gonna make it so the strings are her weapons, and she can enhance the strings somehow, or enhance. Yeah. So I'm still working on that, but yeah, that's Nako and Arachna. Guess where the name comes from on Arachna, because she's a spider. Well, she's not physically a spider. She has spider powers. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. That's gonna be end for of this writing stream. My throat hurts from talking so darn much. We'll be back tomorrow with some more gaming. We're doing Batman again, and then we'll be back with fighting some humans this time, Monday for The Last of Us. Yeah, I hope I most likely have some more stuff next week. If not, I'll just talk about the Villain Wins chapter or something. Speaking of, you can read that on scribblehub.com. That's where I post all my free short stories. It's the best place where you can read it. There you go. Series. And it's my most popular series. It's tied with The Abandoned Angel for views, but it has double the readers and all of the favorites. And only 10 chapters. The Abandoned Angel has double the amount of chapters. This is a really good story. I'm really proud of it, and I look forward to writing it each week, which is something. This is good. This is good. Like, even when I wasn't streaming, I began writing this, so it's a good story, and the villain wins in the end, because it takes place in the Descended universe. So if you read the first novel, you'll recognize a lot, if not all, of the characters. Well, you won't recognize all of them, but a lot of the characters you will recognize, and even mentioned in names and stuff like that. It's like an Elseworld story, so the heroes are getting clapped left and right by this villain, and it's written by from the first person point of view of her. So read that. New chapter will be out. What's today? Wednesday. It'll be out by Saturday night, as long as I can remember right, because I was tired as heck last Saturday. And make sure you pick up a copy of these. We got the first Descended novel on Amazon. I'm gonna put it in the thing again. There we go. On Amazon, make sure you buy Descended Awakening, paperback or ebook works, but I recommend the paperback because this man's is thick. It's thick as heck out here, right? And then we have children's versions of this first novel, gradually, steadily coming out. We have 2 versions right now. There's a 3rd on the way as well. I'm just waiting for my artist to send me some new stuff on that. besides that, guys, I'll see everybody tomorrow for some more Batman. And I did figure out, well, I didn't figure it out. It's not like I looked up a video or anything on how to get past where I was stuck. Yeah, I figured out how to get past the part we were stuck at last point. So, we'll be back with some more Batman tomorrow night. Thank you to Daddy and Zach J Creates for stopping by for the night. And yeah, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for sitting here to learn about this shonen writing process and the shonen series, as I'm hyped as all heck to get it out. I am looking for an artist, so if you know of anybody or you yourself are an artist, let me know. I'm looking for a manga style though, specifically manga, because I want it to be a manga. I want it to be like an anime. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. And this is JBase Phoenix once again. Signing off.